And what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Live, Laugh, Left podcast. Live, Laugh, Left, episode number 116. As we continue on with season 4. We are being joined this day by JD Vance.
Hello, everybody.
How does it feel killing the Pope?
Huh?
Killed the Pope. You got thoughts on that?
Fake news.
Got a lot to talk about today. Talladega in the books. Got a lot to go over with the Xfinity and the Cup race from Talladega. Not really. Got a couple of silly season news, including some more information released about the court cases that are going on. So we got a lot to go over there. And then, of course, at the end, we will preview this weekend's action at Texas. But first, Talladega. I personally did not get to watch a single lick of either of these races because I was at work. So, I went off the highlights. It was RCR dominated, though. Shouldn't be very much of a surprise that RCR dominated another Xfinity plate race. They've been doing it for a while now. And it was no different here for the most part. Till the action really started to pick up in the third stage. William Sawalich had a mechanical problem that took him out of the race. Sammy Smith and Van Alst got together late. Shane Van Alst got together late, wrecking both of them. Caught up Ryan Sieg in it as well. Later on, the big one hit. Catherine Legg was taken out. Brandon Jones, Eric Almirola, all involved in that one. Some hard hits there. Leland Honeyman, he was trying to pick a spot on the choose cone and spun out. Okay. Like, make up your mind so you don't spin. Connor Zilic wrecked on the last lap of the race as they were going to the finish. He hit the backstretch inside wall really hard. But he was the only car involved. There wasn't anything else going on. It was set up for another exciting finish. So you know what NASCAR had to do? Step in and throw the caution. Because what's the good of having an exciting finish?
Right.
So they threw the caution. It came down between Austin Hill and Jeb Burton. One of those was a more fun option than the other one, so of course they had to pick the boring one. And Austin Hill was the winner at the time of the caution, even though the caution had no reason to fly in the first place. So, Austin Hill wins again. What surprise. I picked him to win, by the way. Just like to say that. I know ball. Then the Cup race. From what I could see from the highlights and also from other people's descriptions of it, it was very fucking boring, and it was the commercial 500, which shouldn't be too much of a surprise either, considering Fox loves going to commercial as much as humanly possible. But it looked like pretty boring racing for the most part. There were a couple of big wrecks, though, in stage one, with first one coming on green flag pit stops when Brad Keselowski forgot how to drive, collecting Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney in the incident, taking all of them out of the race, unfortunately. And then on the restarts up front, Christopher Bell and Chris Buescher both got together and went spinning. Took a hard hit into the inside wall, especially Bell took a hard hit. So that was the end of the day for that. There were no other crashes the entire race, though, actually, which is extremely surprising. There was no big one, which you usually see that in Cup at Talladega. No big one. The only other on-track incident, the only other caution for an on-track incident was John Hunter Nemechek spinning as he was trying to come off of pit road. And okay, cool. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't really anything crazy. There were a lot of green flag pit stop issues, though. A lot of drivers sliding their tires, and miscues with speeding, and equipment issues and all that. So there was a lot of that because there were a lot of green flag pit stops. The second stage was completely caution free. The third one was almost completely caution free. But then it came down to the end of the race. Apparently Fox went to commercial with like 5 to go. Are you really surprised? And then Cindric and Ryan Preece were the ones racing for the win. It was a very Ford-dominated day, as it usually is at Talladega. And it would end up being actually Austin Cindric winning in a photo finish. So very, very exciting stuff there over Ryan Preece. So Cindric wins. He gets his first real win of the season, but he did win a duel, so he's already locked into the New Year's Eve Spectacular. But he edges out Ryan Preece. It's a good thing because at the end of the day, Ryan Preece and Joey Logano were both disqualified. So the right driver won, at least. It's funny, too, because Logano went on that big rant at the end of the second stage about Austin Cindric's move at the end, and then he ends up getting DQ'd, so it didn't even matter. It's pretty funny. But that was all that happened. Not a good week for me in fantasy. Had Josh Berry. I think we did get some stage points, but finished 28th, but with the DQs, ended up finishing 26th, so not great. And overall, a relatively tame weekend for Talladega. The Xfinity race had some big wrecks, and there were some hard hits in both races. And there was two technically photo finishes. One of them was controversial, so I mean that's the Talladega spirit, I guess. Controversial finishes as well, but a good finish in the Cup race as well. So not the worst weekend, but could have definitely been better, at least. But we got Cindric winning. That's pretty good. So there we go.
Right.
I don't know if you had any other thoughts, JD Vance.
I do not. I usually don't watch races like this.
Drew?
I watched Daytona because I was there, and so was Trump.
Drew. But that is it for Talladega. Put it in the books. So about Connor Zilic, that hit he took at the last lap of the Talladega race, he has a lower back injury, and thus will be missing Texas. Kyle Larson will be filling in for his car at that race. So, sucks. Hopefully Zilic can get back to full health so he can compete for a championship, but he will be missing Texas. Granted, he won't be missing much.
It was funny. I was watching this thing on the news, like I always do, and they were talking to Connor Zilic, and it said, "Longtime NASCAR fan." Instead of NASCAR driver.
True. The only other silly season news I had was court cases stuff. So Front Row in their lawsuit has won $2.1 million. There was more information released. Also, 2311 and Front Row Motorsports have both appealed for NASCAR's counterclaim in their lawsuit for the charter stuff to be dismissed. So there's that. And then also more details about the Legacy Motor Club Rick Ware stuff was revealed in court. It was released that Legacy Motor Club purchased a charter from Rick Ware for roughly $45 million. Highest possible price for a charter. Holy moly. It called for Rick Ware to sell charter number 36, currently used for the 51 car. However, the attorney noted that the wording of the contract described the charter to be purchased as charter 27, which is also owned by Rick Ware, but is being leased to RFK for Ryan Preece in the 60. Legacy Motor Club then offered to pay Rick Ware Racing $5 million more than the original purchase price for Charter 27, so it could have 3 cars next season. But obviously, that was a little bit rocky because somebody else was using that car. But it was also noted that RFK has an agreement with Rick Ware to lease Charter 36 next season. So teams, and it says teams are allowed to lease a charter once every 7 years. So I guess the big problem was it was a very confusing contract because people did not do their fucking research. So yeah, that's just a hunk of baloney right there. Don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but not surprised it happened with Rick Ware Racing and Legacy Motor Club,
Right.
two of the more poorly run teams in the sport right now. Cannot be that surprised, I'll be honest. But with that being said, that's all I had. Don't know if you had anything else to say, JD Vance.
There was no big news on anything, so
Yeah, it's been a pretty slow news week, which is not good for Talladega standards. More will come though, don't worry. I have a Star Wars pack.
yeah.
Star Wars pack. Game reviews? Potentially. I haven't opened this yet. Noah's letting me borrow it. Anyway. With that being said, we got to preview this weekend's action at Texas. Or as Garry, who is not here right now, likes to call it Texas. It's pretty bad. What more is there to say about this track than has already been said? It's not a good track. It's not anymore, at least. I think the racing is getting a little bit better. I think this track caters more towards the next gen car, which I think is helping a little bit, but it's still not the best. Not the best. But as such, all 3 series of racing this weekend, Truck, Xfinity, and Cup are all in action. So we have a lot to choose. So who do we think is going to win the truck race?
I'm gonna go with what's his name? It's not Sam Mayer. What's his freaking name? The driver in the number 1 truck.
You mean the Raising Cane's spokesperson, Tony Bredinger?
Yes.
How am I not surprised? I'm going to pick... Fuck it. Corey Haim going to win again. Fuck it. Every time I pick the boring driver, it always works out. So, I'm doing it again.
Legend.
And then, Xfinity race. Who do you think's going to win that?
Towers.
I'm going to pick the redemption story of Jeb Burton. Because he got fucked over at Talladega. I'm actually going to do a double pick. Pick him or Ryan Sieg, who came mere less than an inch away from getting his first career win at this track a year ago. I think he could do it too. But with that being said, it's time for our Cup predictions. No. JD Vance. Vice President JD Vance.
I'm sure.
Do you have the chips with us this week? Did Garry give you the chips?
I do not actually. I don't even know where they're at. I put them away, and then all of a sudden, I don't know where they're at. So random picks today.
I'm going to pick Chase Elliott to win back-to-back Texas races. Yeehaw.
I forgot he won last Texas race. I'm going to choose Kyle Busch. I had him last week. He spun out. But you know what? Today, or not today, Sunday will be the day that streak comes to an end.
Interesting choice. But a bold one. I like it, Vice President. I like it.
It's going to work out because I'm the vice president and everything goes well with me.
Drew.
And also Trump said it would happen, so it's going to happen.
All right, guys, that's going to do it, though, for this episode of the Live, Laugh, Laugh podcast. Stay tuned for next week. We'll recap everything, and then we'll keep going, and we'll keep going and going and do it all, yeah. Stay tuned, though. Much more amazing content. Garry will hopefully be back next week. Thank you, JD Vance, for filling in, though. I know this doesn't fit in a busy schedule. Till next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.